There was an article recently published in Hakol HaYehudi website online I thought was worth taking a look at. Delved into the construction industry in Israel and the foreign labor phenomenon that surrounds it. It certainly starts off in the headline on a positive note that the construction industry appears to be tired of the Palestinian labor from Judea and Samaria. But there were some pretty important points I thought were worth taking a look at and analyzing a little bit deeper. Before October 7th, we employed Palestinians because it was easy and simple to get permits. Ofra Hadad, CEO and owner of Euro Israel Construction, tells us. Because it was easy and it was simple. Why it was easy and simple before October 7th? Hard to understand. Hard to understand. Why would that be? The Palestinian Authority has been nothing short of hostile to Israel. We can go into all of the details, the pay-for-slay programs. Why would it be easy and simple to get permits for construction-aged males who also happen to be military-aged males? They seem to be the same demographic. Why on earth would that be easy? A different question for another day. But back to the article. We worked mainly in Jerusalem and places that build with Jerusalem stone. They gave an explanation because Arabs are the experts in it, right? The type of construction Arabs are experts in. Yeah, okay. As we'll see how not important that little detail is. According to her, the advantages of employing Palestinians were many. They are not spoiled and were willing to do any work. That that's the money line. They're not spoiled. They're not spoiled like these Israelis. These Israelis, they're spoiled. Ofra Hadad. For those of you who don't know, Ofra is a female name. Maybe it's a little bit sexist, but I could venture to guess that Ofra herself did not work in the construction industry. Certainly not in the field. Certainly not working. But yet, says the Israelis are lazy. They're lazy. They're spoiled. Not like the Arabs. They're willing to do anything. They did not have to provide them with expensive equipment such as a crane, molds, and blocks. And in addition, they were cheap labor and we did not have to provide them with housing. For sure. Sure. Now, if you look in Israel, you'll notice, even from police reports, how many Palestinian laborers sleep illegally in construction sites. So she's bragging. We didn't even have to provide them housing. It was great. It was great. And not unlike these Jews who are we didn't have to provide them cranes or anything. We didn't have to give them anything. We'd just give them a little hammer. No helmet, no nothing. It was great. It was great. We were a development company. We could give them nothing, pay them nothing. They would build many multi-million dollar worth skyscrapers and condos, and we'd have to pay anything. It was great. Everything was great. Right? But what happened in Israel? October 7th, that was such a blow. It was a blow to the construction industry because that's the thing. It wasn't the families that were torn apart. It wasn't the reservists who had to go out into dangerous areas and leave their families. No, it was the construction industry. They were the ones that really suffered from October 7th. Oh my God, how devastating. Companies that relied only on Palestinian workers ran into problems. The moment we were forced to bring in foreign workers, mainly Chinese, we discovered the difference in the quality of the work. Oh, really? Admits Hadad. She had to admit it. I didn't want to admit that we had these Arabs that we paid nothing and we gave nothing to, that they didn't really do great work. But she had to admit it. When we employed Arabs, you needed 1,000 eyes to make sure the work would turn out properly. Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Cheating was ingrained in them. Oh, really? We had to keep emphasizing to them that even if the plumber accidentally hit the pipe with the hammer and made a hole in it, he shouldn't dare stick it with some kind of gum and cover it. I mean, the truth is, these stories read like comedy. They read like absolute comedy. The only problem is that this is what goes on here. This is what goes on. The public knows that Arabs do cheap, shoddy labor, and the construction companies, the development companies, don't care. They don't care. This is not a new phenomenon. They've always been doing this. And they didn't care because, as she said, we gave them nothing, we paid them nothing. That's because that's what they cared about. That's what they cared about. Paying little and raking in the big bucks. That's what they cared about. Sure. Capitalism. Crony capitalism. Despite the warnings, there was always a worker or two who caused damage and didn't tell anyone. Shocking. Yeah. Now this part of the story is pure gold. If there was a reason for you guys to listen to this video, it's this story. It is just an absolute gem. Hadad illustrates Arab work culture through a story. Quote, one day we gave the workers a training session on working at height. Right. The instructor talked to them about safety and emphasized the importance of tying themselves in a harness to prevent accidents. One of the workers looked closely at the rope of the harness. When the instructor asked him why he was so absorbed in it and whether the issue of safety was close to his heart, he replied, yes, my father has a donkey, and I want to buy him a rope like this to ensure that he doesn't run away. It was crazy. We talked to him about safety and saving lives, and all he cares about is the donkey. You know, you have to say something about the Arabs. They really are a hilarious people. That is just a gem of a story. I absolutely love it. If it had to come down to that, fine. The thing is that they nod. They nod yes, right? Like any good worker. Yes, of course, no, sure. But as soon as you just turn your head, they take off their helmets, untie their harness cables, and enter the balcony without arranging or railing for it. So this woman admits that for years, she has been hiring Arab laborers who have been presenting a danger to the public. And why? She said it herself. They're cheap. They're cheap. That's all we care about. It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter how many government subsidies we get, how many tax breaks we get. It doesn't matter. That's what makes the difference to us. Just hiring cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. And it's not even Israeli labor either. Although this is actually a very interesting part of the article, and it resonates with me, I have to say. When you ask them why they did it, they answer you, everything is written from above. True. We have Allah, and if we have to die, we will die. Like I said, the Arabs are very funny. That is a terrific answer, I have to say. According to her, the disregard for safety also indicates a poor sense of order and the entire nature of the work. But like I said, for all these years, this woman and her company, and many companies like hers, have been hiring these kinds of Arabs. And they knew exactly what it was. And they hired these people with no regard for public safety, no regard for the work product, for nothing. Not for the investors, not for the final purchasers of these apartments, nothing. She doesn't care, because all she cares about is driving down costs to as little as possible and jacking up profits. That's it. On the other hand, the possibility of bringing foreign workers to Judea and Samaria has encountered difficulties. Okay. No, it's all things about China not liking the Judea and Samaria, so that's why they're stuck with Palestinian Authority laborers. This line is also amazing to me. Now, I guess there was a question, and she answered it. What about Hebrew work? Jewish work? What about it? What about it? We have a country. Say to her, look, you've admitted that your Palestinian Authority laborers are doing shoddy work. They're a danger to the public. What about Jewish labor? Good question. Jews don't like manual labor. That's it. No, it's not that Jews don't want to work for nothing and be treated like a donkey, like from the story. No, they don't like it. But here of course this part, right? Even if they already entered the construction business, they will want to be managers. Oh, how terrible! They'll want to be managers. Oh, how unlike every other profession in the world. Yes, like you have an engineer. They work for 5, 6, 8 years. No, they don't want to be a manager. No. According to this woman, that's only in the construction. Only in the construction industry do young workers who work hard want to elevate and become managers. What kind of response is this? If a Jew learned to be a plumber, as soon as he grows up, he will hire workers and manage them. Yes, like any professional. If you have a lawyer, and a young lawyer works for a firm, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, will say, I've gathered enough experience, I'm going to start my own firm and hire lawyers. That's normal. That is not unique to the construction industry. Someone should tell this woman. What's more, construction workers work in groups. Each group has specialization. They have a specialization. Okay, so hire Jewish laborers. They'll work in the industry, and they'll get a specialization. And by the way, this notion that, they'll elevate, they'll become managers. It's like, yes. And then you go out and hire the next batch of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. That's how it works. Does she not know this? I mean, is this woman really that ignorant, or is she just like telling us this story? Oh, well, might be either. It could easily be either. She could literally be this ignorant, or she could just be trying to string us all along about why she needs to hire Palestinian, shoddy, dangerous workers for the next million years. Yeah. Jews won't agree to work in them. Construction work is grueling work in 40-degree heat or freezing cold with no opportunities for advancement. Why don't you give them opportunities for advancement? Why don't you actually create an environment where workers can have clothing that they won't freeze to death in the cold weather? Or have a construction site that actually takes care of workers? I mean, we know how much profits are being gained by all of these real estate development projects. How much are we really talking about here? But of course, they don't have to consider it, because she can just go out there and just hire cheap Palestinian labor for nothing. That's all, because that's what she cares about. She doesn't care about having a decent product. Doesn't matter to her. Again, a woman who herself has never swung a hammer, who has never done this work. Israelis are lazy. Israelis are no good. Of course. This is a woman who spent her entire life sitting behind a desk, and she's condemned all of Israel, all of the people of Israel. The amount of Israelis who can't find honest work in Israel is staggering. Staggering. The opportunities in Israel, especially now, after the economy has been hit after October 7th, it's hard to find work in Israel. You know what their answer is? It's no problem. No PA laborers, we'll just bring in Indians. We'll bring in Chinese. You know what we call that? Oops, other way around. Israel last. Israel last. That's what we call it. Construction companies first. Foreign laborers first, profits first, everything first, except for Israeli citizens and Israeli workers. That's it. That's what it is. They don't care. Doesn't matter to them. I'll give you a tweet here from Alicia Yered. Now, Alicia Yered is, guess what people would consider to be a hilltop youth. certainly amongst that community. People who, by the way, work with their hands. People who build the land, who do their own construction. So there's plenty of Jews out in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, who are willing to do this work. You might have to pay them something. Now this is even more staggering. This is unbelievable. Because you could understand why these real estate development companies, they just only care about profits. That's it. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about public safety. They don't care about work product. They don't care about anything. Bad enough. But this is 100 times worse even than that. What do we have here? I translated it into English. Mind-boggling. Weapons theft, intelligence gathering, and insane security failures happen every other day at the most classified bases in the country. Army bases. Army bases in Israel during war. But the IDF just keeps burying its head in the sand. Here, for example, are recent photos from the last 24 hours. Now, this was from May. I saved this tweet from May. Not that long ago. 4 months ago. Recent photos from the last 24 hours from the Golani training base and another military base. Arab workers are operating throughout the base as if we've learned nothing. Palestinian Arabs working on army bases. Because it's not bad enough that construction companies need to be skimming profits as razor thin as they can. Even the government, even the army. Because look at the work that they're doing here. Wow. Who could ever screw in a light fixture? Oh my. What specialized, difficult work? Indoors. This is not, oh, it's outdoors. It's so hot. These Israelis, they just can't deal with the heat. This guy's standing indoors doing this. You're telling me we can't find an Israeli to do this work? What's this other guy doing? I'm not even sure, to be honest. But what is so hard about this work? What? But to just squeeze out and save just a little bit. This is what we... On an army base. On an army base. This is not... I don't know. An army base, of all places? This is where it's seeped into the mind that no matter what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. And what's the excuse? We can't find Jews to do it. Pay them a little bit more. You could find Jews to do it. What's so bad? What's so hard? What's so hard? And then they wonder how Hezbollah knows to launch an explosive drone precisely at the dining hall in the training base during dinner time, which was also a story in Israel. That was also a story in Israel. That's right. On an army base during dinner time, in the exact location of the dining hall, a Hezbollah drone or missile landed exactly there and killed and injured soldiers. How did they know exactly where and exactly when? We know. We know. Profits and money over the public, over the safety, over our country. Profits first, Israel last. And this is happening all over the place, from the government, from the construction industry, and everything in between. Something has to change here. Something has to change in which the citizens are put first instead of all of these interests. And always remember, if it's not Israel first, it's Israel last.